So hi everybody and welcome back to Unreal 5 full game tutorial series for absolute beginners. This is video 32, and in this video I want to talk again about this die animation and set the input to disabled. Here is very important, so let me show you what we did there. We did there create this character die, we played this animation there, and then after we died we set input disabled, right? Disable input. And of course, when you do something like that, you have to enable later the input again, or you can't control. But there is an alternative I talked about you as well. Instead of using disable input, let me show you how this looks like in the game. And by the way, we will also implement that. What you see right now here, I lose a hurt, then my life goes up again, I lose again my hurt, and then I goes up and then I die. So you can see now I can't control because now all the input are disabled, but perhaps we don't want this and there is a better alternative. And the better alternative would be, after you die, you pop up normally a die widget or a die sequence or whatever, but a menu in the end. And how we make this all time is just instead of going here directly to this controller, we would go here up, which is first of all, again, you create, I show you this one. Create a widget again, like all time. Then you add this to the viewport, and then you select the widget. I have not created a widget here. We need a die widget where we can select to go to the main menu or quit the game or something like that. Instead, I select here my main menu, which I already have set up. Yeah, it's set up here. I have here a main menu. Okay, that's this. I go here from here on. And then what you have to do again, remember, you have get the player controller. This is your get player controller again. And then you set input mode. It was game before. Set input, set input mode. UI only, because your widget is now popping up and you want not click in game. And then also show mouse cursor, because we have to show the mouse cursor. Set show mouse cursor, you find this function, click here, that's it will get shown. And then after you connected this all kind of stuff like so, this would be the alternative to this one. And when I click and show you this one here, of course the pause menu is the die widget is missing, but you go here in, I lose a life. Again, this setup for this hurt in the next video. This is a preparation for that one. And you can see the main menu is popping up. Normally, not the main menu pops up. Normally, the die widget pops up where you can select here if you start or quit or whatever you do there. Okay, with that said, this alternative I keep here. I use this one just for this one. And then in the next video, you just saw it, I want to implement this hurt, how we lose hurt, how we set up hurt. And this one is a little bit longer. You can see this one will be included to our already existing code. But before we go to the next video, I want to talk about prototyping. You can see all that what I'm doing here is prototyping. But what means prototyping again? Prototyping here in coding means you just try to make it work. You can see I set up my hurt. I want to test how I can lose life, remove one hurt. If I get 0, then I pop up my life again, and then I remove it again, and then when I die, then I die. So all this kind of stuff I made fast up prototype, which means I made it just work. But it works, but that means not it is a good code. What I mean is not a good code with prototyping. For example, again, in my prototype, I used again what we already talked. I get this cast, get all actors of class, and then I get this one. I make a hard reference, and then I do this one. The casting is this, and then I set here default value where you should definitely not set a default. You can set it here, but you need an organized place. So with other words, prototyping is not following good practice. It's not following architecture. Architecture means here organization, in the sense of you should have a default place for organization. For example, when you set your default values, they should be not scattered around the code anywhere, so you can have a central place, a manager perhaps, and all this kind of stuff. Keep this in mind. And one more thing for prototyping, you can see I'm not using collapsing the knobs normally. the code becomes here big. What you do normally is when the code becomes long, then you are going select all this kind of stuff. Okay, you say this is character die, good, right click, sorry, not so, again, we select this and then you say, okay, right click, and there are this section you can collapse nodes, collapse to function if you want to make this a function. All time it's not possible a function. If you have a timer, delay, something like that, that works not function, then you can collapse to a macro or just collapse node. This is just for visuality. It changed nothing, no benefit. For example, I go this, but the benefit about this one is now it's all little, right? All you can make very small. And the reason why I'm not doing this one here in this tutorial, because I show you this one, and if I have to this one, then I have to click this one and jump from one place to one place. But in real code you do this. In YouTube tutorials to show, it's not so good, I think, because you can see now I have to jump back and jump forth and so on. So careful about this. In real code you do this normally. What I mean, you make here this one, and important when you do something like that, you need a very good comment. Why I say you have a very good comment? Because when you read this one here and you have a bad comment, you have really click here and go through all this code here. Because commenting is super important for advanced and high level. Because if you're on high level, which a beginner is not high level, but let's say you will become one time more high level, right? And on high level, what happens is they read just the comment and most time know already how this is implemented. So they still watch the code perhaps, but not detailed. They just flow over and say, ah, that was the difference. But normally they know what happens here in general. That's why commenting on a high level, it's very important. Low level, you still watch the code here detailed probably. Okay, I think that's it for this one. And so in your final code, try to make this. I press Ctrl C to go back to my states. Ctrl C, Ctrl C, Ctrl C. Yes, I'm back. And I think that's it for this video. In the next video, like I showed you here, we will implement now this this part here. You can see I lose life, but if I have hurt, then I lose 1 hurt, and then I lose again life, and now I die. I might die in animation and so. All right, this is the next plan. If you have any questions, like all time, write in the comment section. See you in the next video, and like all time, have fun and never give up.